Well, that didn't go to plan. That snapped the arm of the motor there. Hello and welcome back. Today we've got a Pokémon Pinball Gameboy game, which apparently is doing weird things. I'll show you the listing in a second. So what have we got? So this is saying, let's have a look. Faulty, read description. Game is missing battery cover and the rumble no longer works. Okay, cool. So let's have a look inside. What is it? Ah, it just slides down. Okay, cool. Right, looks like there's a little motor there with a weight on the end, which provides the rumble feature. So let's have a look. Pretty simple motor. Ah no, battery. Is that for the save? I'm assuming it's for the save. Is that battery? Looks like a battery to me, and I'm assuming with the old Nintendo games we had the batteries in there to save the data. No obvious signs of corrosion or anything like that. The motor itself moves freely. I wonder if I can get a 12-volt battery and get a current to that and see if I can. I don't really want to desolder it just yet. No obvious signs, is there? There's a problem. Contacts are good by the looks of it. Does that need pushing in? Is that the problem? Is that on a little socket? Little connector? Yeah, just wrapped in some sort of silicone to stop the too much vibrating. Let's see what we've got on that battery. If anything. 3.25 volts. Got a feeling that's about right. I'd have to check. It's better than nothing. And then what have we got? Have we got anything between? Oh, let's check continuity. Yeah. Okay. Needs a battery for a start. What am I playing at? What do we need there? AAA. Right, let's get a AAA battery in there. That could be a good reason why the rumble didn't work. Together again quickly and just test that again. Still can't believe I didn't think to try it with a battery. That's moronic. Okay. Cool. Still nothing. Yeah, nothing. Okay. So we're no worse off. Or better off. Depends where you want to look at it. Right, let's have a look. Inside again. So I'm wondering if there's a fuse maybe that there's a tiny motor. I wonder what size. So it has got a little serial number of sorts on there. It's 300A. Let's just check, see what kind of voltage that takes. A, I think it was. Yep. Okay. I can't imagine it's a problem with the motor itself because there's not much to it really. Let's just check those capacitors and then give things a quick clean. Surprised what a quick clean can do. Right, what have we got? There we go. So that's 3, 6, 4, 5. C1. C2's fine. C1 is there. That's capacitor 1. There's a resistor there. Not sure what value it is. Okay. I'm getting continuity through there, which means, well, let's check there as well if I can on the motor. Not sure if I can get in there. I'm probably just coming off the shielding on the motor. Can I get my multimeter in there? I can get on those contacts. Let's go there and there. Can I? Oh dear. That came off. Well, maybe that was part of the reason why. Is it that loose of a connection? Let's just check if I get continuity without that. No, okay, so it was connected, so I just need to solder that back on. There is a fuse there. I'm getting continuity there. Not much going on that side. Well, it is pointing to, well, from what I'm aware, it's pointing to the motor. I'll give things a clean, solder that back on. Yeah, positive, negative, it's the right way around polarity wise, not that it should matter, it would just operate in reverse. With being a DC motor, it shouldn't affect things, but it is the correct way around. What's that diode doing there? I'm not sure if I can check the diode here. Not sure if it'll work. Resistors similarly. Okay. Yeah, let's solder that back on. I'm just going to Google the voltage on the batteries in the Pokémon games. 3 volt. Yeah, CR 2025, 3 volt. So 3.5. So yeah, that's about right. I can't imagine. Maybe it is the motor, but I just can't imagine something that simple and small would be the problem. It's rotating freely. Or is it? This is, but what it's stuck to, is it just rotating around that? Can I put a little scratch on that too? See if it's actually moving. Yeah, okay, it moves with it, yeah. Probably can't see on the video, but this weight is clipped onto the shank, or you want to call it here, of the motor. And it looked like that was just revolving around this part, right in the centre. But the whole thing is moving together, so the motor inside the motor is moving around, but doesn't seem to be getting power for some reason. Right, give it a quick clean, solder it back together, and let's just double check it again. Cool, so that's got continuity. But we don't know if it's, highly doubt that was the problem. It was maybe just being a bit rough-handed. Let's see if that cleanup made any difference. Ball off something. See what that does. Yeah. Strong. Okay, so still no luck. Admittedly, that might be a little on charge. What have we got voltage wise on that? These are meant to be 1.2, so it's all good. Well, I don't see any other problems unless one of those, the fuse hasn't gone. The resistors. That seem okay. Let's follow that. See see where these lead to, if I can trace it back to anywhere. Okay, there. Right, hang on. There we go, right. Interesting, C5, there's an actual capacitor there. I'm not saying it needs one, but we've got one everywhere else. It's not 5. Doesn't look like it should have one. I could be wrong. Yeah, maybe it's missing a capacitor. Actually, yeah. Maybe that's a capacitor missing there. In which case, I wonder if it's that capacitor. I have no idea of the values. I'll have to try and maybe borrow one off another game. I've probably got some donor games that I could take one off. Let's see what I can find. Right. Let's see what fuses this has got in it. And if we can just take one off there. Only joking. Got some of these terrible ones. Even that, I mean, I don't think it's worth anything. Is worms worth anything? I doubt it. It's a knockoff, and you know, these are just rubbish. So let's see what these have on them. The GBA game's not Game Boy Color, but might get lucky. Worst case, I can put the fuse back into one of these if it doesn't work. They do have capacitors on them, but they're a lot smaller. I'm not sure if that's just because they're newer boards. See, that one's missing one as well, but it doesn't look like it needs it. Maybe it isn't that capacitor. I can't imagine it. It would have been rattling around in the case, or would it? Maybe not. I'm just going to quickly Google, see if we can get an image of the PCB. Let's see if it needs it. No. I don't know if you can see that on here, but C5 is not on there. All the others are. C6, C4. R1, R2, R3, D1. So maybe it's the motor. Could be the motor then. I'll have to look in and see if I can find a replacement motor for it. And then, you know, just fault find, just swap each component one by one. I might get a couple of batteries, swap the battery out just in case, but I've got a feeling that's for the save feature. Obviously, we've got a AAA battery here for the rumble feature. So I can't imagine it is anything to do with that. I'll have a look into that. It might have to be a two-part video potentially, or admit defeat. Let's see how we go. Right, we have had a minor breakthrough on this motor. So I've literally just ripped it off the board and just clip some of the insulation off the wire. But if we, as you can see here, if I show you first of all, that is moving freely, and wherever I put it, it will basically stay, not going to stick or jump to a certain point. But if this being a DC motor, literally pop a battery on it, like so. Oh, bear with me, it's a tiny motor. And there. So it doesn't rotate fully, but it's trying to. If you can see that, the tiny little nudge, it flips all the way around. There. So it catches all the way around to that point, and then from there it pushes itself all the way around. Ooh, I like that. Even if it's facing upside down. See there? Only that part of the rotation it wants to flip around. The rest of it kind of gets jammed, but that point there, it likes to fly around. So there we go. Oh, that's better than it was before. Getting quite warm to the touch on that battery now, I think. Basically short circuit. If we try it the opposite way, the motor should want to go the other way around. Yep, so if I try and flick it that way, it wants to go the opposite way now. So it is the motor that's faulty. It's probably just been sat stagnant for however long. So if I try and pick it back the other way, it doesn't want to go that way now, it wants to go back the opposite way because I've switched the polarity around on the battery. See that? So it's trying to come back the other way. So I'm wondering if just messing around with it will slowly free it up. If there's any, I don't know if it's corroded inside, I don't know what caused the dead spots inside, but if we can just, I might just play around with this, try and maybe get some sort of lubricant, WD-40, or I've got some contact cleaning fluid. Just try and get something down there to free up those connections, whatever's causing problems inside. And we might, see that? See, it wants to, if I just nudge it, it flicks right round. Like that. So I'm going to just play around with it and keep trying to free it up. Might take me a while to do it. A cup of tea will keep me going. I'm also still experimenting with microphone. Okay, I'm back. I'm not sure if contact cleaner is the best thing to try, but I've got some normal WD-40. I just feel that might be a bit overkill for a tiny little motor. I'm going to try some of this first, if I can even get it in there. Just want the tiniest amount. But really I want to get it down inside the motor. I could take the motor apart, but the motor's so small. Taking that apart and putting it back again with my fingers, I just don't think that's doable. I mean, that is, look at the size of that, it's tiny. could unclip it. Let's see if I can get. Let's see if I can unclip that. Take the motor apart. There's two little metal lugs that are bent over the plastic housing. And that's probably one of the next things I'm going to need, isn't it? A microscope for you guys to be able to see better. I'm not sure if you can see what I've done here, but one of those lugs has pulled apart, but whether I can get in there is a different matter. I'll have to take that off as well, don't I, to get that. Get in there, that's going to have to come off and slide the other part out. I don't think that's going to be doable without completely ruining the motor, and I've looked online and I don't think you can get a direct replacement. I haven't even seen any third-party replacements for these either. There probably is a motor very similar in size, but I've not looked too much, but there's probably something of similar size. Let's just try and get a bit more of that contact cleaner in there. I'm assuming it's got, you know, the usual setup with a few coils in, you know, coils of copper wire and, you know, and a magnet which runs around the outside perimeter. Let's give that a go. Let's give that a try. Oh, it jumped then. Do you see that? It did jump. That's what it's always been doing, I guess. Okay, that didn't work, did it, that contact cleaner? Maybe if we can get some of this in there somehow. So I'm just going to try the WD-40. Small amount as possible. Don't want to lag it in it. Right, on there. Try the same again, try and work that in there. No, okay. Front. Try and do it without I don't think I. Come on. Nope. Right, I'm going to have to take the motor apart somehow, and chances are it's going to be all or nothing. Get it apart, and then ooh. Well, that didn't go to plan. That snapped the arm of the motor there. That is a no-go. This is a way of me fixing that back on. Let's take the motor apart anyway. Let's see. Right. Let's try and take this apart by its wires, but right, here we go. So, if you can see in there, can I zoom into that? Something like that. It's all coming apart now. From here. Come on. Right, well, that's come out. Can we see anything obvious? I can't see. It's literally a bit of copper wrapped around. To me, there doesn't seem to be any friction. I should have done better than to try and dismantle that by pulling it the way I did. It's obvious it was going to snap. But no, I think I'm going to get it off any other way. Come on. Very tricky to push back on. Ooh. There we go. If this works now, I'm going to be fuming. Chances are it'll work, and then I'm left with just a motor with no rumble feature. Well, at least we got to the bottom of the problem. Well, no, it's still not spinning, so. No, that is not playing ball, is it? Thing is, I can't even tell if it's rotating now. It's so difficult to tell. I'm sure it is. No, arguably it's tighter. I've probably bent there. To see which way I bent it, and then I might be able to bend it back, but no, I think that's the end of that. Let's just try one more time. I was a bit heavy-handed there. It's pretty obvious what was going to happen. I think I even said it before I did it, but never mind. Yeah, nothing. Oh well, the game still works. Not a problem with that. I think what I'll do is solder that back. Well, I'm not going to solder that back on for the minute. There's no point. It doesn't do anything. I'm not going to get rid of it. I'm not going to sell it. I might just keep my eye out for a replacement motor or something similar. I think I saw online that someone did an LED mod because the rumble effect's quite loud, and I think some people think it's annoying. Obviously there's a setting to turn it off in the game, so it probably becomes quite annoying after a while. So maybe I'll switch it to an LED, do the LED mod on it maybe, if I can find what, probably a couple of resistors needed for the LED. That'd be a cool little mod, maybe walk you through that as I do it. I'm going to keep that in there, and I'm going to keep the weight with it just in case, you never know. Sorry guys, no dice on that one, never mind But let's keep it all together at least. And fingers crossed, more luck on the next one. Let's just hope that doesn't roll out. I'm sure that won't come out of there. Yeah, well, thanks for watching, guys. Shame Shame it turned out as it did. I should have known better, but I didn't. That is not an improvement to what I started, but never mind. We'll move on to the next one. Cheers for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Please, give us a like and subscribe. I'm going to keep just buying faulty things on eBay, seeing if I can fix them. You guys can join me, watch me try and fix things. Some I'll win, some I'll lose. It's no problem either way. It's always very satisfying when we do win and do fix something, and I'd love for you guys to join me for the ride when I do. Any suggestions, just drop it in the comments. Any suggestions on what to fix? If I can find them on eBay, I'll buy them and I'll try and fix them. Whether I've done it before or not, I'll give it a go. Cheers now, see you on the next one, bye.